soul will never tell you that you have to do it. The soul will never say, Alex, you have to turn left or right. That's up to you. But when you're ready and say, okay, I'm truly ready to go to the next level of embodied realization, leave all that, that's the altar of the soul, let it be distilled wisdom. You take deep breaths. I am that I am. I am realized. That's it.
Since you were talking about the Ascended Masters Club, what is it like for a soul when they are not incarnated?
It all depends. It's different for an ascended master if it is for somebody not yet realized. Those not yet realized that are in between lifetimes, generally they go to a place that we call the near birth realms. It's not heaven. It's very similar to the birth, which is not physical. And there they continue to act out. They continue to search. Or they could, for instance, if one is a priest and dies in his lifetime, a lot of times they go into the big monastery in the sky with other priests, and they do priestly things until one day they're just going about their business in the other realms, and suddenly they're sucked back down into earth for another lifetime. It's their karma sucking them back down. Oftentimes somebody dies in their counterpart to find themselves in a car and they could be there for years, decades, hundreds of years. They're continuing to act out, but it's a non-physical realm, but they don't really even realize that. That's unfortunately where most humans go now when they cross over. An ascended master, now you're sovereign. Ascended master, you can do anything, go anywhere. We often say you're in your third circle, you're in your sovereignty, and you can do deeds. Now, to the human, they say, well, that sounds boring. Don't you have to be doing something? No, you don't at all. There is a grandness in just being. There's a passion. I am that I am. It's a constant state of orgasm, of sensual feeling that it can go to. Now, we play a bit of a game. We have an Ascended Masters Club where we gather. We tell stories about our lifetimes, and you know, for a long time, the number of Ascended Masters was just in the thousands. Now it's grown, it's about 11,000, but we're really tired of the same old story. We've been waiting for a new Ascended Master came over, at least some new stories. We relive a lot of our experiences, like watching a movie almost. We talk about various groups that we work with. I would say at least 2/3 of the Ascended Masters are working with humans, whether in a group or as individuals. We can create our Ascended Masters Club look like anything. For me, it looks like a huge castle, with club-like qualities, with great food and drink and music. But it's because I'm choosing to look like that. We don't have an agenda about Earth, but we're there to assist when somebody's called us. We never interfere with the ways of the humans, of governments, of wars, or anything like that. But when we are called, we're there in service. When we are called, mostly we go just to bring light, just to shine light. Now, some of us, Ascended Masters, we work with channelers like Kalza and others to assist in bringing information to the planet. But go back to what I said before, the human is the grandest being of all beings, and there's only one who has been in the human form, taking the human concept, and really do their empathy and compassion to help others humans. We do that as an angelic being, no longer on the planet as an Ascended Master, but I don't take kindly to some of the non-human types that come to interfere because they're not as grand as the human side. There's no other civilization that's more heart advanced than the humans. It was actually humans discovered love on this planet. Didn't exist in the other realms. It was here on Earth that love was first experienced. So how grand is the human?
Now, what is the role of meditation and prayer in your spiritual journey?
Early on, it gets you focused. Early on, it helps you to start connecting with something other than your human self. Prayer, it gets you to start realizing what you are choosing. As long as you're praying for yourself, a word of advice about prayer: never pray for anyone else, just for yourself. It's like a form of witchcraft. The moment you start praying for somebody, you're putting something on them that is not honoring their journey.
Money makes the world go round. Crypto makes the world go forward.
And you say, but somebody is sick today, they need healing. Bring your light to them, but don't pray over them. Bring your light so they can see other potentials that are available. But the moment you start praying, even the moment you start praying for world peace, it sounds good, and you realize you're coming from a place of compassion, but now you're inflicting your desires on a planet. The planet, the humans may want to be going through all these things, as terrible as they are at times. It's about having compassion for everything. It's about having compassion for others. You see a beggar on the street corner. Most people feel sorry for the beggar. How about changing that and having compassion for their journey, and instead honoring them for what they're doing? When they're ready, whether it's this lifetime or another one, they'll change. When they're ready, they'll realize that abundance is always there for them. But in the meantime, honor everyone else's journey. And oftentimes the prayers are directed at you. You don't pray for anybody, pray for yourself. Secondly, meditation. It's good early on in your journey. What I've seen and what we talk about at the Ascended Masters Club is that meditation becomes a ritual. There is great good that can come from it in terms of the inner journey, but it becomes a ritual, and you have to do it for so many minutes, and you have to do it so many different ways. And it's actually ultimately a distraction on the journey of becoming. Ultimately, you realize you drop prayer, you drop meditation, you drop any of the rituals. They're all distractions along the way. It's simply about allowing yourself, allowing your divinity. I am that I am.
Well, what is the role of faith in
I'd say again, early on in the journey, when one first, even pre-awakening or going into awakening, having faith does something interesting. It gets you out of the logical mind. Faith is not about logic. Faith is opening and allowing in a way. But so often faith is then putting some external being, into a God or saints or whatever. Ultimately, it's about having faith in yourself. That's a hard thing to do. I always say that the hardest things to do as a human are loving yourself and having faith or trusting yourself. It's easier to love other beings. It's easier to have faith in an external God. When you get to the point where you love yourself unconditionally, without faith or trust in yourself, where you can allow yourself to finally open without defensive walls around you, to open not to some external God, but to open to your divinity. Then you're there. Then you are realized.
Well, how do you tap into your own inner wisdom and guidance?
I like to take long walks, or I did in my last lifetime. I like to sit and feel. I like to listen internally, not externally. I like to really allow myself to open my other senses. This was in my last lifetime. The human basically operates with about 5 or arguably 6 senses. An angelic being has over 200,000 senses, go far beyond anything the humans could ever experience. The human is locked into a brain, into their mind, and many put it as the highest quality of a human, but it's not. The brain, the mind, even your human senses, all are all connected in your brain, and actually limited. So by allowing yourself to go beyond, by having this, by feeling into you, you start presence, is that all there that really defy the logic of the mind, but they are very real, very, very real. As you breathing, as you just stop tilting at luminosity, stop battling old ghosts. These things naturally wake up. You don't have to work at it, you don't have to effort. It helps to take you off, it helps to move off into the stars and then once you say, I'm ready, I am ready, no more of the old stuff. It's a very natural process kicks in, and it starts clearing old energies, it starts releasing gravitational forces, and that is where the allowing comes in, allowing these natural cycles to take place. You don't have to work at it, you can't. You cannot, the human cannot do realization. It can allow it, but it can't do it. The human, if it was up to the human, you overly structure us, you have expectations that were very limited, to say the least, and you find a way to mess it up. Once you're ready, and you say, this is it, I am ready, and you allow, it's a very natural process. So I like to use the saying, relax into realization. No, it's not fighting it, it's not trying to figure it out, it's not relying on other people. It is a natural process of relaxing.
How can you cultivate compassion for those who have different beliefs or values than you do?
I'd say that, first of all, cultivate compassion for yourself. It's difficult to have compassion for others when you're constantly judging yourself because then you're going to externalize it and put it on them. Start with yourself, compassion for everything that you've ever done, even the things that you judge as being wrong, or being a sin, or whatever else may be. There is such a lack of compassion for oneself, and starting with some very basic things, the feeling that you're weak because you were an angel in the other realms and you got stuck down here on earth and you forgot who you were. So there's all these guilt and shame that humans lay on themselves and they can carry around. It's time to stop. Have that sense of compassion, realizing everything you've ever done. It's not right or wrong, it just is. It's an experience. And then allowing yourself to receive the forgiveness from your soul. Human cannot forgive themselves. Try and it doesn't work. A human cannot forgive themselves. But when you're ready and you go to that altar of the soul, and you put everything on it, you let the soul come back and hand you forgiveness. Now it sounds simple, but it's actually a very difficult thing to do because human gets to this point. This is the moment of the dragon. They get to this point, and the soul is saying, here is forgiveness. Very few humans can actually do that. They have to keep something. They have to keep a degree of guilt and shame. They might release a little bit, 10%, 12%, but they still feel they have to keep it. And it's this guilt, it's this shame that prevents one from having compassion for yourself. Once you have compassion for you, look out at the rest of the world and you realize you don't need to change it. You don't have to save the dolphins. You don't have to stop the wars. You don't have to heal the sick. You see with a different set of eyes, you see that each and every one of them is absolutely choosing their journey. Now the human self may not be aware of it, but their soul self is. They are choosing whether it's a lack of abundance. They are choosing whether it's grand talent for music. They are choosing. And it's time to honor and respect that in each and every person, no matter their religion, their sex, their sexual orientation, their color, what they're choosing in their life. It's a very, very challenging thing to do. And Calendar's telling me right now you're getting a lot of nasty comments in the comment section. But it's a true master that can have compassion for each and every one. Now, when somebody comes to you and their body is sick or they're destitute and says, I need help, then it changes. Then you're there to guide them, not to not even to do healings over them. Now, the guy encouraged, and eventually this guy in them showed them that everything is already here. Jesus said it. Many others have said it. All the ascended masters realize that it's all right here. Open your eyes and your ears and you realize it's all right here.
Another reason to make Hannaford to go? You're good too.
On that thought, what is the connection between spirituality and material abundance? Because a lot of people think that you can't be materially abundant and be spiritual. You have to be a yogi with no worldly possessions in a cave somewhere to be spiritual. Is there a balance? What is the connection?
That's right up there with suffering. Thinking that you have to suffer for realization. The poor spirituality was something that was created